Hi, I'm Erica, and today we will be discussing Alice Walker's everyday use. At the beginning of the story, I identified Dee as the character with the most. She had the looks, the smarts, the popularity, and the support from her family and community. She seemed to be very determined and strived to be the best, afraid of anything or anyone. She knew exactly who she was and where she came from and what she wanted out of life. She was described in the story as being lighter skinned than her sister Maggie, with nicer hair and a fuller figure. She determined to stare down any disaster in her efforts. But as the story goes on, and Dee went to visit her mom and sister, that's when my view began to change. She seemed to have lost sight of who she was and where she came from. She returned home with a new name, a forced accent, and a Muslim guy. Her goal all along was to presume herself as someone who embraced her heritage and her family, but that wasn't the case. She really came to collect artifacts made by her ancestors over the years. By the end of the story, Maggie was identified as the character that possessed the most of her heritage, the love for her mom, and the knowledge of the significance of each artifact. And her mom began to realize that after Dee's visit, of course. What does heritage mean to you? To me, heritage represents who I am and how I raised my family today. I grew up in a small, tight-knit family that overcame almost every obstacle we faced. We didn't have much growing up, and I always complained as a child. Not being able to go to the mall or going shopping, get new outfits. But no matter what, my mom always instilled in me and my younger sister to go to college and finish, because the sky was the limit. And I can now appreciate my mom, for she has made me the strong woman that I am today. My heritage is cherishing family and not forgetting where I come from. My mom always said, you can never appreciate the good times if you don't go through the hard times first. Hard times don't last always. Life is 10% of what happens to you and 90% of what you make it. We have to stick together because we are all that we have. And I also have an artifact that was passed down in my family from generation to generation. It came from my great-grandfather, who gave it to my great-grandmother for their 30th anniversary in the 1950s. And then he passed it down to my grandmother, and my grandmother passed it down to my mother, who passed it down to me just a few months ago when I purchased my first home. And this is the china cabinet. Of course, she didn't give me the china that was in it. Hopefully, I'll be getting it soon. Well, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed.